what you call bank? I call game.
What's up, Pack Nation? It is Pack here, and I have kind of some NBA 2K19 news for you guys. This isn't exactly news straight from 2K, but this is something that's happening or that may happen, and I wanted to discuss about it, see your guys' opinion. And that is players that will not be able to return for NBA 2K19. Maybe, right? So once a player finishes in the NBA, their contract to automatically be in 2K is gone, right? So what happens is then 2K needs to contact them and get a contract signing for them to be in 2K from there on, right? But some players refuse to return to the game. Some players, for example, that we lost from NBA 2K17 to 2K18 was Tayshaun Prince, who was really famous for being on the Pistons, Kirk Heinrich, who was an amazing Bulls player, and then technically Charles Barkley because he was on the USA team, but he doesn't really count. That being said, there are 10 notable players that I want to talk about that may not make it back for NBA 2K19. Now, they could sign and be in the game, but there's no confirmation yet if they're going to return or not. Let's make that list. But before I do that, reminder that I am doing an NBA 2K19 giveaway for anybody that subscribes to this channel, follows me on Twitter, and then tweets at me done. I will put all the names in a randomizer, and on September 7th, I'm picking a winner to get NBA 2K19 for free. It could be for PC, Nintendo Switch, Xbox One, or PS4, whatever you need. I'll get you, fam. So just throwing that out there. Now let's get this list started. This video was basically inspired by Reddit user Plum Dizzle that made the list. Let's get it started. I'm starting this list off at number 10 with Matt Barnes, who is a free agent and plays for the We Believe Warriors. He was a 76 overall in We Believe Warriors, and I think like a 70 overall free agent. Matt Barnes had a season when he was averaging 10 points a game. Not the biggest name on this list, but a recognizable name. This dude wanted to fight Derek Fisher. That's like his biggest moment. That's really it. But that's a player that is not gonna be in NBA 2K19 maybe, and that's a pretty big deal. Next up is Roy Hibbert, 86 overall on the all-time Pacers, dude. Roy Hibbert was a defensive beast who could also score. The guy was 7'2", a monster, had 0 points and 0 rebounds in the playoff. Wait, no, that's not it. But still, Roy Hibbert was a pretty big name at a certain time when the Pacers were balling out with Paul George. So the fact that he might not be in NBA 2K19 kind of sucks. Next up is Anderson Varejao, who's currently a free agent, but who's on the all-time Cavaliers team and played 12 seasons for the Cavs. An 83 overall, played so many years with LeBron, an NBA veteran. He may not have been the best player ever, but he's always been around, and to not have him in a 2K game would be weird, especially with the classic team with LeBron and the all-time Cavaliers. It'd be weird. At number 7, it is Leonardo Barbosa, another Brazilian player. 84 overall on the all-time Suns. Again, if a player from an all-time team is going to be removed, that's a bad sign. He had a season where he was averaging 18 points per game for the Suns. That's a lot. The guy was really good at one point, won an NBA championship with the Warriors. To not have him in 2K is disgraceful. Next up is free agent David Lee. David Lee had a 20 point per game season with the Knicks and with the Warriors. And even though he's not on either all-time team, he still was just really good. I don't know how they're going to implement him in the game. He might not be a free agent in the game anymore. He won't make it to any all-time team. I don't know any historic team they're willing to add to put him in. So honestly, he might not make it in NBA 2K19. Seriously, David Lee really might not make it, and that's gonna suck. Speaking of the all-time Warriors, Monte Ellis might not make it in the NBA 2K19, might not sign that contract to come back into the game. One of the biggest names in the NBA at one point. The dude was averaging 26 points per game with the Warriors one season. That's crazy. A baller, plays for the We Believe Warriors on the historic team, and he's also right here in the all-time Warriors, and he's a free agent. Just don't remove him, man. Going back to the Indiana Pacers all-time team, Ron Artest, or technically Meta World Peace, might not make it back to NBA 2K19. He's one of the best players to ever play for the Pacers. He's known for Malice at the Palace, but this dude had a 25 point per game season. Like, this guy was no joke. Played with Kobe with the Lakers. To not have Mr. Panda himself is dumb. This is where the list is getting really intense. Next up, Darren Williams. Dude, if Darren Williams is not in 2K, dude, I don't know what to tell you. 89 overall on the all-time Jazz team, was one of the best point guards. Arguably, there was a discussion where he was the best point guard in the NBA versus Chris Paul, averaging 20 points per game and 10 assists a couple seasons. On the Jazz, he's tied for 5th all-time player. Like, seriously, if he's not back in 2K, I don't know what to say, man. At number 2, it is Chris Bosh, the man who had the most important rebound in NBA history, the guy that is a 92 overall, the second best all-time player for the Raptors, and is also on the all-time Heat, and the free agent GOAT in 2K18. Might not make it back for 2K19. Now, he might sign that contract, but still, it would suck to not have him. And finally, at number 1, Mr. Pack Gaming himself. Did you call back? I call Paul Pierce. He might not be back. Mr. Poop Game himself, 94 overall, one of the greatest Celtics players ever, NBA champion. If he's not in the game, man, that would be just as bad as not having Reggie Miller and Charles Barkley. He'd be up in those conversations now with not having Paul Pierce either. He needs to come back. And that is it for this list, guys. How would you feel about any of these players not returning? Leave it in the comments below, and if you like my channel, give it a sub, and I'll see you guys next time.
Did you call bank?